2-year-old Cadillac in the family that owned the agency. She got a 2-year-old Cadillac every 2 years for $1,300. She got one time, and it had a sky roof in it. She told me it's dripping water. I said, well, I get up on top and put some caulk in there. She said, Eugene, that leak on top, it leaks on the inside, you know, put a caulk in there. So I said, well, what are you going to do? And I looked out, a couple of days, looked out across the parking lot, and there was a new Cadillac. I thought it was the same one, but it was all polished up. I said, what do you do? Did you Cadillac detail? No, I want to trade it in because I didn't want that caulk all in the car. She had a bunch of other little funny things too to tell to. She saved up money from our grocery account. I gave her a grocery account out of my pay. We had 2 checking accounts. We never had the same checking account. I couldn't sign her check, so she could sign mine maybe, but I couldn't sign hers. But I gave her an account. She was always buying things, saving up money. She bought me a stick pen. There was one carat diamond stick pen. She bought me a shrine ring, and she bought me a tie clasp or something else, 3 things. And I came in one day and said, well, I'm out of a job. I quit my position. I said, what's that over there? She was the piano. I said, oh, it's paid for. She said, yeah, I paid for it. It's all paid for. Okay. She said, it's bad news, I'm pregnant. Or good news.
Change that to her.
Oh, and she had her store, and she'd come over and she said, well, I ordered some patio furniture. I need to check for half of it. I don't know if I paid retail, wholesale, I was paying for it, and I gave her whatever she wanted. And then there's all these big old pieces of furniture. And one day come in and said, I just bought a $15,000 camper. I need to check for half of it. And you always remember out at the Red Barn, nose ring, I had one in my nose. I guess you all know that I'm a Democrat. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I've heard a rumor.
I did.
Heard it rumor. You know why? And I'm proud of it. A democratic country is known for how they treat their old people and the destitute people in need. And that's the only reason I'm a Democrat. But I never vote for one because I don't run for Democrats up here. They don't even get to run, so I vote for almost straight Republican ticket. And what else do I supposed to say?
You want to talk about your service and
Well,
World War II service?
Okay. What?
Your
When you got there on the boat, they said the war was over. You said they heard you were coming and they just gave up.
The teacher told me one time, said, you had a real war record, didn't you? I said, yeah. And I said, I wasn't in the war. I said, your son thought so. Said he told us when they found out that during the World War II that the first I was on the way over and they gave up. Got recalled the Korean War and was in there 1 year and then he gave up.
because of you.
That was Rick. And I was really never born. They found me under a rock down in Piney Woods in East Texas. They found me under a rock, I think. I'm not sure how it was.
Is that true, Tootsie?
I thought it was a cabbage patch. It was before my time.
I have always done 2 things in my life. I never did one thing. When I was in the underground storage consulting business, I was buying real estate, fixing them up on my days off. And I was always doing 2 things. And you add up my career, I'd be 200 years old. But I don't know I ever had a venture that didn't make a little bit of money. I don't think I ever had a losing venture at all. I had some that was very lucrative. Bought a missile base, was very lucrative. I was the only man that I know of that ever had a missile base. And I had 3 hitches in the service, 3 active duty, and two hitches of reserve time. I was in World War II. I was talked into signing up for the Air Army of Occupation. I served it, and then I threw me in the reserves, and I re-upped in it. I was already out, but I re-upped, and then the Korean War came along, and they called me back. And I signed up for 3 years inactive reserve, and I thought they'd count it while I was on active duty, it didn't, so I put it in 4 years. I got out and I thought it was over with. And my mother called me, I was in Holmes, New Mexico on a consulting job. My mother called and said that the FBI was looking for me. So I said, what in the world is wrong? I can't imagine. But she told me, she said, I told her that. The next morning I went to leave the hotel room and I hit a fist. He fixed to knock on the door and I jumped back and he jumped back. He flashed the badge and said, FBI. I said, gosh, what do you want me for? And he said, you evading the draft. What'd he say? He said, how old are you? And I said, well, like 2 weeks and being 28 years old or something, some figure whatever it was to draft. He said, you got 24 hours to register. Well, I was in New Mexico and I didn't only register there. I don't know why it made any difference. You know, there wasn't time left anyway. But I drove to Kermit, Texas, 40 miles away, and that draft office was closed, and I had to go another 40 miles to Pecos, Texas, to sign up, so I'd be there. Signed up in Texas. And I couldn't imagine why they didn't know that.
You already had all those years,
Yeah.
Right.
and they wanted you to register for the draft.
The rest through the draft.
The FBI most wanted list.
My little time is running out. I didn't think anything about it.
Must have been the Republican.
Yeah.
They're on to you.
I never went to full-time college in my life. I went to West Texas to go to work as at a carbon black plant and transferred over to a gasoline plant. And I had one little short course in gas engineering, and I didn't have any more education at all until I moved to McPherson in 1956. And they had a law in Kansas that all the teachers had to come up to date or lose their federal funding, so they opened up the college at night school for school teachers. Some of them only had a high school education, so it ran for 5 or 6 years. And I went to school until I had enough hours for a degree, but they didn't have a major. I had everything. Whatever they had, I took it. And I had enough hours for a degree, and I had everything covered that I had to have, except they didn't have a major. And they decided I either had to be a welder or a preacher. I took 9 hours of religion, 9 hours of history, and 6 hours of English. All the requirements had everything needed, except they didn't have anything to call it a major, so they never did give me a degree back. It was all over with, so I just quit it and did it anyway. I've learned 2 things in astronomy. It cost me a bunch of money. I don't know what the hours was. I had 3 hours of astronomy. I can tell you 2 things I learned. That Easter is the first Sunday after the first full moon after vernal equinox. And the next thing is, you see the sun, or the moon, the full moon, wherever you see the full moon, the sun will be in that same spot a year from now. That's 2 things to learn. That must have cost me a bunch of money. Story, tell a funny story, don't you? Can't remember one. That I can tell. Give me a clue.
You want to talk about when you took a religion class with Mom and the final exam and the essay. When you took the religion class with Mom and the final exam and the essay question.
Oh, yeah. My wife, she decided she's going to take a course in life teaching of Christ. And she took an audit course, just, she wasn't trying to work on it. She called it an audit course. So when it was over with, they said, well, people take an audit course can leave or they can take it and it'll be all right. So she decided she'd take it. So it's one question. What was the philosophy of Jesus Christ? She panicked and left. She said, why'd you answer that? I said, well, I gave her all the examples, the woman at the well and all these examples of where all forgiveness things, particularly, because I needed that. I had a little problem. I married a divorced woman. I had a little problem with that. But my professor in religion told me one time, he said, well, don't worry. You probably got a chance, but I don't believe I'd have taken the chance. I thought he was going to kill either. But I've treated it out with God. I think I have. I hope I have. But anyway, what else?
You want to thank everyone for coming?
Well, I don't care whether they come. No, I'll tell you what, this is the most diverse family I ever saw in my life. Several religions, several national backgrounds, and all types of people, and very diverse, and I'm proud of all of you, proud of your accomplishments and what you've done. Very proud of how you've treated me. I hope I've treated you all as well, and thank you. That's quick.